We have some school districts, Avery, Watauga, who could have some impacts because of the snow up there.
Yeah, snow, black ice, gusty winds, 55 miles an hour, which buses normally they stop running when it's like 30 or higher. Yeah. Plus it being higher elevation spots, additional challenges. On top of that, wind gusts, snow,
high profile,
black ice.
Not good.
I mean, you just don't want that combination. It's also going to be bitterly cold. Wind chills there could drop to 15 below zero. Now, oftentimes here in the Carolinas, we don't see a lot of big issues with hypothermia or frostbite, with the exception of the occasional really big temperature drop up in the mountains. But I would still encourage parents, teachers to keep a close eye on those cold temperatures. Again, not just overnight, but also through most of the day on Thursday. Current temperatures across the board in the mountains closer to the 30-degree mark now, which is why we're starting to see more of that snow developing is sticking across the Charlotte area, upper 40s right now. Again, there is a slight wind chill, much more noticeable though for the mountains where they're at 30 degrees, but it already feels like the teens. So let's talk the worst wind chills that we're going to see with this system coming in. It is tomorrow morning, again, 10 to 15 below zero, possible up in our mountain communities. And unfortunately here in Charlotte, we're not dropping into the teens for the actual air temperature until Friday, but the feels like temperatures tomorrow morning will also be in the teens. So we're going to see 2 mornings with bitterly cold air. And I will say tomorrow is going to be worse just because of that wind. It bites you. It just feels much more aggressive. Tomorrow afternoon, it's not going to get much better. In fact, the highest wind chill we have the entire day here in Charlotte, 24 degrees, barely getting a wind chill out of the negatives up in those mountain communities. We are again much colder Friday morning too, just only a degree or 2 lower for the wind chill in Charlotte. Things will improve up in those mountain communities. So you again continue to see those areas of snow up in the mountains right now on satellite radar. We're still seeing more snow streaming in from the north and west, so more totals will accumulate before all is said and done. And because of that upslope flow, we will see a few more flakes develop for the last half of Thursday too. So remember, even once it gets sunny, even once the cold front has passed us here in the Charlotte area, you see bright sunshine, still clouds, still areas of snow. Because of that orographic lifting, northwest flow, we essentially see wind move up across the mountains that condenses and creates more cold air, which is why you often will see snow still happening even once the actual front has passed by. This is specifically in the Carolinas for this particular area of snow developing right with that orographic lifting, but it's a very common thing in meteorology. It just only happens, this phenomena, specifically the way it does here in the North Carolina mountains based on the way that they form, similar to the wedge. Now, there's pretty much 3 scenarios as I look ahead to this weekend's potential for snow here in the Carolinas, not including the mountains. Now, we're trending toward number 1 or number 2, which could be potential for snow here in Charlotte or potential even for snow along the immediate coast. Thankfully, we're trending less toward an inevitable move inward, which would mix in some wintry precipitation. But even if we do, folks, see some areas of snow this weekend in Charlotte, it is going to be pretty minimal and also going to be a majority on Sunday before it's out of here. Nothing would stick because we have been really warm. Here's the latest snowfall comparisons for Monday or for Sunday's snowfall. On the left, you have the Euro. On the right, you have the GFS. So if anything shows you substantial disagreement so far, it is these consistent model runs showing not just something similar, but something completely worlds apart. So we'll continue to break this down for you over the next few days. In your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day, again, we know the next 2 days are very bitterly cold. Warm up Saturday before another big temperature drop heading into the long weekend.